right, Friday, 2 o'clock. I now have the news that this game will be getting picked up Monday. And so I've got till Monday to finish it, which is good because I was going to bust my butt tonight and have it all that in the cabinet tonight and then play it tomorrow and then deliver it. But now that I have a little extra time, I'm not gonna goof around, but I definitely can look over things even closer and just make sure everything fits perfect. Little quick tip, I tried in one of the bigger ramps just for fun, and I found out that, meaning the one that goes right here, found out these little dudes are in the way of that ramp. So don't put these on yet. I went ahead and took them back off, and I'll put those on after the ramp goes in. And also, it was something else. What else? Oh, the diverter right here. The diverter is also kind of in the way, even though I think with this out of the way, it might still work. So I went ahead and undid the diverter. Let me show you. I went ahead and undid the mech, and I've got it zip tied here because I've already soldered it in place, and I don't want any pressure or pulling on those. So I went ahead and zip tied it here for the moment, and I'll just be real careful if I turn the rotisserie to make sure it doesn't get beat up. So, but this is where I'm at. Let me show you. Having a little faux pas here. I need to get this under this because it's such a tight fit. All right, interesting little tip and tidbit. Trying to put this on here, and I've got this. Let me back up here. This post goes on that end, and then goes up through here and screws on. Right? Here is the old problem. Come over here, show you. Let's see if I can. Let me just take this off, and I'll show you here. There we go. Let's remove that for a second. Problem is, this goes on here, but look. I put a number 6 here, and that's a number 8. So I started looking around, and I realized you come over here, and here's pretty much, if I can show it here, let's see. I had it. Here's the exact same post right here. But it's a number 8. There we go. So the metal post there needs to go here, and that one needs to go over here. So, but the main thing is you need to know this one with the number 8 top goes over here. That's all you need to know. And it's also got to be the bottom of it's got to work with the T-nut. So it doesn't have a screw thread. It's got a bolt type thread on here to go with the T-nut. All right, there, I switched them out. Sometimes you can tell that they're smaller. That's a 6. And then here's I can show you better. Let me come around here. Here's the 8. And then of course I was able to put that post on there. So now, let me see, I probably do this one-handed. This actually goes on pretty easy. Now I can take and put this right here. There. There we go. That's there, and that's there. There we go. All right. We are amateur pinball restoration, and this is why. This number 8 is correct. That's all right. But it wasn't this one. That's the one I was trying to put on there. I went back, checking my video. It's this one. This goes on here. Like that. And then number 8 screw is going to come down through the top of the playfield into this. So, oh well, that's better late than never. I'm glad I didn't have all this together and figure this out. So, let me polish this one on here, and then we'll stick this on and have this upper playfield all done. I'll wipe these down good, make sure all these are clean right here, and then we should be able to put that upper playfield and actually mount it. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Here's where I'm at. But to be honest, it's all going much faster now because I'm fixing to put on some ramps. There's not a lot more to it, believe it or not, for this game looking like it's so packed full of stuff. So this is all the bottom level for the most part. And so I'm fixing to do a flyby and add it to the World Cup reference guide. But this is really the lower level of the top side. So so it's done. Tomorrow I've got this ramp. I need to finish up putting it together. The big one. It's the biggest ramp, and it comes across here. Sorry, let me back up. Let me try that again. Tomorrow I'm gonna put in this ramp over here, and well, actually both ramps. But this biggest one comes across and over and around, and actually goes all the way to here. Okay, not actually all the way to here, realistically. So it goes to here, all the way around, and then it goes to about here. And then there's a little secondary ramp that ties together with a metal piece that comes across to here. So I want you to notice these little slots right here. That ramp, these slots support that ramp. Now with this Starship Fantasy ramp, I already tried it in just for grins where it's at right now. And man, I could not get that out. Once it slid past here, and keep in mind, this has to go on before the ramps. Has to, you can't get it any other way. Because that ramp's gonna sit right here and block the 2 screws that are right there. So you have to put this on first. Now, the thing is, the Starship Fantasy ramps are a little thicker. And I'm telling you, that piece that fits in that slot is thick. Now, it doesn't come out the back over here, but it fits in there way long. And so it made it really hard to get out. So tomorrow, before I put it in, I'm going to actually cut it a little bit because I barely even got it in. And then it got stuck for about 5 minutes while I tried to wiggle it out without breaking it. So I'll show it tomorrow. I'm going to trim off the back of that a little bit where it'll still hold in there nicely, but it won't be as hard to maneuver in and out in case it ever needs to come out again or somebody's shopping the game or something like that. But pretty much, this is bottom level done. Underneath is done other than just things like this, getting connectors as I put more connectors and wires through here, connecting everything together and then making it look pretty. And then from there, it's pretty much ready to go in the cabinet. All right, let's see if I can film this and not get in the way, and I'll show you. I already cut the one. Let me get this other one done here and see if I can. Now, I'm going to use my Dremel tools, what I'm going to use. I'm using this blade right here. Make sure y'all can see it good. Okay. So here we go. Let's show you how I'm see if we can do it here. I'm just gonna now I learned from doing this one that I'm gonna have to cut the top and then flip it over and cut the bottom. This little burr won't go completely through, and that's okay. I've got my tape line to kind of guide me. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna give me a chance. Got my finger rest, and I'm just gonna kind of take my time, no rush. All right, so now this is the one I did first. I was off camera, and here's what I just did. I look for any tags or barbs. Feels nice and smooth. Like I say, that's more than enough. I mean, we're still going to have almost half an inch going into that wood panel, and so it's not going to that's not going to go anywhere. All right, let's just do a dry fit here. The funny thing is, I wish I'd have shown y'all last night how hard this was to get in and out, so we'd have a point of reference. But let's just. I mean, I can probably do it one-handed now because see, look. See, the thing is, this has to go down into these slots, right? There we go. Let's see. Into those slots. Well, when that thing was so much longer, it put this ramp hitting this wire form really hard to the point I was having to try to flex this ramp, but these ramps are super thick and strong. So now, see, I can just kind of put it like I just did, lay it down, and man, it just slides right into place. I'm telling you, this was so much easier earlier. It actually goes farther into place too, because now you have a little better shot at reaching these screws, even though they're still would be hard pressed to do them second. But now you probably could now that I've cut that. Without it being cut, there was no way possible. That had to go first. But now that it's cut and it's sinking even better back in there, just gives you just that little bit of extra room. So I'm learning as we go along here, which is great because that's going to help me for doing the the second one. And see, that's what I was saying. This ramp has to go on first because then this is going to swing over and going to sit right about there. And so, and see, I'll tell you what, something else. These are lining up much better right here now that I did that cut there. It seems like it helped the ramp. I'm talking about just maybe an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch go back farther. And that does seem to have made a difference. All right, here's the ramp protectors. This is the before I polished them. And here's the after. So you see how much better they look now. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. It's because I started doing it and I'm like, crap, I should be showing this. Normally you have a little bulb that goes right here. Let me kind of get one kind of sitting somewhat there in place. And then you have this lock that goes over it. Like, oh, there we go, thank you. Then you got this lock plastic that goes over it like so. Here's the catch though. It doesn't do anything. It like sits right here. It's totally blocked by this, so it doesn't barely do any kind of lighting adding whatsoever. So what I've done is I said, well, I'm gonna put one of these in here. Let me put that back down. I'm gonna put one of these here and get it to hang over the edge. Problem is, it's the only one I've got, and it's not long enough to hang over the edge and actually light. Now, don't get me wrong, it would light there, and I don't know if I can show this one-handed, but I'll try. Let's see, I don't know if it's in there enough to actually connect, but let's see. Never know. Yeah, there we go. See, I wanted to do that, but it's not going to shine over that because it's got to be hanging out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a chance here, and I'm going to I've cut the insulation off there. I'm going to extend this wire so that this head can fit over this area and not interfere with the plastic. So that's what I'm trying to do. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of wire here and I've just stripped it. I've stripped it here. Come on, there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that and extend it with this little strip right here. I'm going to just solder it, and we'll see if it works. I mean, really, it should. It's just making the wire longer, but you know, it's such a tiny wire and trying to solder it. And we'll see if I can do it good and cleanly and everything else and insulate it again. All right, so here we are at the finished product. I'm going to end up putting it right there. Got my heat shrink to protect it from shorting on this metal here. There's the metal there. I've got my hot glue all around the ends here to keep that from shorting anywhere. And there you go. So let's check it one last time. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll check it. Let me put the plastic on, then we'll check it. All right, let's check this out. I've got it all over here. Come from the front. Let me put this clip on here to make it easier for me to show you and around from the front and actually do the job. Let's see. So here we go. Let's see it from the somewhat player's perspective here. There we go. So see, I think it'll come on. It'll come on just at certain times. Now, if it stays on all the time, if it is actually tied to GI, which I'm almost 100% sure it's not, then to be honest, I'll take it off. We don't want that on there all the time. It's supposed to be for special occasions. So, but I got that done. So let's, in fact, this ramp, see, I think this ramp is finished. As a matter of fact, time to get the top ramp on and let's see about testing this sucker. I've got to get the connection sitting better, but hey, at least this is where we're at. So hey, we're cooking. All right, got an update. Got a good DMD controller in there because the other one was bad, and I got a good audio board in there. That one was bad. So actually, it's not bad. It has just a buzz, and so I'm gonna send it off to get repaired. So the boards are all good. I'm actually going through and testing. There's no credit dots, which is awesome. And I'm basically going through now and just testing all the switches. Let's see, left flipper lane, which would be, I think this one here. Nope, let's see, flipper lane. Yep, you hear it? All right. I'm gonna test each switch. And all the lights look like they're good, but I'm gonna go back and double check those as well. And if that's it, then this thing's going in the cabinet and we'll play a couple of test games, and I think this thing will be about wrapped up. Tomorrow I'll put it outside and do my walk around video and it'll be complete. Let me show you now, this is why you go and do your checks. Now here we are, it says right out lane. So here's my right out lane right here. Nothing. Now I can see if you look, let me zoom in to the matrix there. You can see, watch, whenever I push this, see that box light up? That's showing that's where the, and now watch this over here. I've hit this flipper one. Let me get up here first. Trying to get to the flipper lane when it's hard to reach it. It's way under here. Here we go. Okay. So now it's supposed to be the right out lane. Let me back up here. Right out lane, but I'm going to be hitting the right flipper switch, and watch this, or listen to this really. What that means is I've got these two switches misplaced. This one goes here, that one goes there. So see, that's where, before you put it all together, it's nice to be able to check it, because that way you can know it's right. And I still have the coin switch thing to put together, but man, it's going to be easy. I painted it, turned out really good. I've just been letting the paint cure all day, so it's going to go in with there hopefully and look nice. So I'm going to keep checking this. I'm going to obviously switch those switches, which just means I just have to basically unplug, unscrew them both, and then just reposition them. I'm not gonna solder or change wires or nothing. I'm just gonna reposition the switches. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna keep going. All right, so here I am undoing the switches. I already did undo the flipper switch. I do the out lane now. Come on now. So, pull this switch out of here. Oh, come on. Seriously. Okay, so now we're going to take and simple as just moving this down here. And then putting this one right here. There we go, and voila. So I'm going to screw those in now, and that should fix that problem. We'll keep moving on. All right, it's a thing of beauty. Just needs to be cleaned up, but I do have one last issue. The freaking goalie switch won't work. So when you take a shot at the goal, if you hit the goalie, it won't register. And I've traced it. It's plugged in correctly and all that. So unfortunately, it might be something on the board. So if there's a transistor on the board or something, that's gonna be a real problem, because I don't know how to try. I'm not gonna be able to trace that. I mean, I could trace it and find the transistor, but I won't be able to fix it. So unfortunately, that might be something that Callan, well, I mean, I guess I could if I had a transistor, but I don't anyway. So it may be a Callan thing, but we'll see. I'm not done checking it out yet. All right, well, it is Monday, March 2nd, 6 o'clock. I'm home from work. Man, it's been a long couple of weeks. But at any rate, here's where we stand. I know it looks, like everything's awry, but I'm gonna tell you in about 2 hours, this thing's gonna be totally buttoned up and finished, because I've already got all the testing done out here. Last night, the goalie wouldn't register. Now, keep in mind, this was my personal game, so that I was hoping to restore one day anyway. But I'll tell you, that goalie hadn't worked in a long time, and I kind of knew it, but I didn't worry about it. I mean, I'll play it here and there, so I wasn't too concerned. I figured I'd get to it one day. Well, last night was one day, and I took it apart. I wish, if it hadn't been so late and I hadn't been so tired, I would have videoed it, because I think it would have been good to see how I actually took the whole target apart. And it was wired. It was soldered wrong. I don't know who messed with it before. As far as I know, maybe it never worked. To be honest, I don't remember if it ever even worked before. Right. So anyway, so I go to fix it, and man, between being tired and just having to take it all apart and recheck the wiring and everything else, it took me a good hour or more. So stupid. But now it works, and it works extremely well. So now it's gonna do great. And I don't mean the motor. The motor was working. It was moving. It was the registering hits that the goalie wasn't doing. And so, so hey, no worries, done. So basically there's no credit dot. There wasn't even a credit dot when that was like that. So I've had no credit dots, no nothing. A mirrored back glass put in. All the lights work. I got the soccer ball speaker panel covers. I've been holding on to those for a long time. Glad to finally get to use them. And so everything, all the lights 100%, all the switches, I went and checked every little switch one at a time to make sure they worked. I rolled the ball to make sure it would work and it would register. I mean, it's pretty much done. I took and repainted. I kind of did a dusting and repainted this coin mix section. It turned out really good, I think. So basically all I have left to do is just get this in here and then just kind of tidy up some things. And it's pretty much done and ready. It'll be ready to go. All right, here we go. A quick scan here.